Conrad, you ever been humbled?
Yeah.
Really, by Shiki?
No.
Who humbled you?
Life.
Oh.
I mean, nobody.
I worked with him in Tulsa.
Did he try to break your back and fuck you in the ass?
No.
Did you ever see him try to break somebody's back and fuck them in their ass?
Can't say I have. I've seen him try to break someone's back. Yeah.
What was Iron Sheik? We know he's a party guy from a drug standpoint. Was there such a thing as chic rats?
I can't say I ever witnessed a Shiki poo that way.
I don't know why, but that idea just tickles me.
There is a perfect plex.
No, it really was.
God, Kurt Hennig was so good.
One of the absolute best, and that's the finish. Your Soul Survivor, Mr. Perfect. Coming up next, it's the last match on the show. The Ultimate Warrior's here. And by the way, we should mention, we've got something coming up really fun next week. One of our most requested shows ever. Tuesday in Texas. It's a show that Bruce was not technically under the employ for the company, but he was in attendance. It's in San Antonio, Texas, December 3rd, 1991. We'll have Bret Hart working with Skinner, Randy Savage working with Jake Roberts, the British Bulldog and the Warlord. Repo Man is going to team up with Ted DiBiase to take on El Matador and Virgil. And then in our main event, Hulk Hogan is going to challenge The Undertaker for the world title. It's an interesting concept and a fun show that was really paying off a lot of stories. I mean, the Savage Jake stuff, and I was a big fan of what they were doing with Hogan Undertaker. This should be a fun episode. Don't you agree?
Is this going to be a watch along?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you weren't there, so we will have a lot of news and notes, but we'll definitely do a watch along because you haven't seen it since you saw it live there, right?
This is true. I have not. Tuesday in Texas was in Austin, right? Austin or San Antonio?
San Antonio.
Yeah. The next day was TV in Austin. And this is upstairs in the Rosemont Horizon. No, this is downstairs in the Rosemont Horizon.
I'm going to play
right outside of Gorilla.
Here's the audio.
Well, there has been some speculation. There has been some dissension in the Heenan family. I think you just confirmed it. But you must admit, Rowdy's certainly gave you a lot more trouble tonight than you had expected.
No, they didn't. We expected a lot of trouble from Rowdy's, but we expected a win. We had what you might call the perfect combination, and now it's time to celebrate Turkey Day the ravishing way.
Was that perfect or what?
Let's go to Mean Gene Okerlund. He's standing by with a truly awesome foursome, the Ultimate Warriors.
Yeah! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just moments away from the members of the Bobby Heenan family facing these four men, the Ultimate Warriors, including Powerhouse Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yeah! Heenan family, Haku, Brainbusters, Andre the Giant. I hope we don't ruin your Thanksgiving dinner. I hope we don't eat too much.
Oh, please, the Rockers, Marty Jannetty.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of rocking and rolling, a whole lot of strutting and strolling and taking care of business because we are fired up and we are ready. The Ultimate Warriors are gonna rock this town. Heenan family, get ready because we're gonna take you downtown Survivor Series style, and get ready because the Ultimate Warriors are coming with both guns loaded. Isn't that right?
Each
one of these men are taking steps in parts unknown. Each one has an organ donor card, and if he shall fall, he leaves all that he has with the others that stand before him. You, the Heenan family, have not united. I have bonded these men in the darkness and the deepness with the pain, and they shall deliver. I bring you the power of the Ultimate Warrior.
Dude, let's talk about that. I mean, Sean is talking to Marty, and then Marty is talking to Mean Gene, all behind Warrior's back as Warrior's trying to do a promo. I don't remember the last time I saw that. That whole scene was fucking weird.
Everything with Warrior was weird. That was him. He was weird.
Thanks.
Well, no, that my takeaway on that whole thing was how fucking young Shawn Michaels was.
Oh yeah, babyface assassin.
And again, they're doing their shit, and Warrior's just oblivious, walking in front of the camera and just taking everything over and back and forth, and doesn't give a shit, and it just was mind-boggling. But most of his stuff was pulling on Neidhart's goatee there in a very strange way. But yeah, that was the appeal of Warrior. It was odd. It was different. It was not the norm of what anybody else did and what you would normally do. God damn, look at them rockers.
Yeah, I'm going to play a little audio here.
And look at this, Neidhart's getting beat up in the corner.
Oh, this match is turning into a Donnybrook here.
This thing's going wild.
And look at the anvil.
Yeah, Andre did not like Marty and Sean.
The bell hasn't even rung yet. And look
Ooh.
at
Have all the team
All
members
right, cool.
out there yet.
Yeah, but the big man, Andre the Giant's going to eliminate the anvil before the bell even starts.
And he liked Jim, and he's about killing Jim. And there's Warrior just waits forever till all of his team gets decimated before he can come out.
No theme music for his run out, but here he comes to Clear House. You hear the crowd going wild. Man, they're all about some Ultimate Warrior.
Yep. The Giant's out. The Giant's out.
Yeah, we should mention this is really the first high profile match that Haku and Andre are going to have. They'll start pairing up after this as the Colossal Connection. And they're even going to win the tag titles right here in Huntsville, Alabama before you know it. What, like probably 3 weeks after this, maybe 2 weeks after, something like that.
Well, it was next TV taping, so that's roughly right. And then, Andre got himself some new trunks, some new, an over the shoulder garment here, navy blue. So I thought looked better than the black.
Man, I love Arn Anderson. He's doing his best here with the Ultimate Warrior.
He's trying. He's like, please, God, someone else hit me. Oh boy, do I owe you money?
Jim Neidhart is in the last match on the show. In a traditional sense, you would think that this would have probably been reserved for Bret Hart. And how weird would that have been in hindsight? Bret and Shawn Michaels in the same match on the same team with the Ultimate Warrior, sort of the next big thing in this generation, the Ultimate Warrior, and the two next big torchbearers for the company in the following generation.
Little foreshadowing, if you will.
How about that fan was checking on Andre? Hey buddy, are you okay?
You okay? Oh. It looks like Andre leaving the bar at 4 a.m. Vodka.
How about Renee?
Oh, more vodka. I get more vodka.
Man, I love the way Haku just fell on his back and let Jim run over him. Instead of doing the whole drop down gimmick where you fall on your stomach and they skip over you, he dropped to his back and I don't know. That was cool.
That's called innovation there, Connie. He's an innovator. Don't do the norm of what everybody else is doing. You be unique.
How did Haku like tagging with Andre?
A lot of respect for each other, man. They got along and had been friends for years. Haku came up in the dojos in Japan and worked with Andre over there. Just a lot of mutual respect. Bobby Heenan, you know, when you look at the teams here. Haku, great worker. Neidhart, okay. Arn Anderson, great worker. Sean Marty, great workers. Probably the best worker of the whole bunch, Bobby Heenan.
Oh, yeah.
And Bobby had trained, you know, to wrestle, but Bobby never really formally trained per se. I mean, he did train, and he did learn what to do, but Bobby was just a natural, just got in and did shit and learned on the go, but was an unbelievable talent in the ring as well. Love to take that Ray Stevens bump in the corner.
Man, it's so fun to watch an early Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, he was, you look back and everybody, of course, always compared him to the Rock and Roll Express. And Shawn, just because of the color of their hair, I think, was the Ricky Morton, and Marty was the Robert Gibson.
It is fascinating that comparison is made based on hair color.
Yeah. Made sense, though. I mean, it wasn't made on their eyes or anything like that.
Hey, so since we're in Survivor Series mode, I guess I know we don't talk about new stuff a lot, but NXT, which was on last night, boy, they really kicked your ass at Survivor Series, didn't they? You better get your shit together, Brucey.
Well, you know what? I guess they're just kicking everybody's ass.
Oh, come on.
What?
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did. You said they're kicking everybody's ass. I just agreed with you.
Well, I was talking about your ass, your collective
my personal ass. My personal ass is fine. It has not been kicked in a while.
I don't know. I feel like Rhea's beat everybody in the company in the last week or so. You better watch out. If you see her walking down the hall, I'd turn around and go
run.
The other way. Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, she's special.
Dude, I could watch Arn Anderson and Shawn Michaels matches all day.
What a nice save.
Spot. I love that spot. That was cool. I don't remember the last time I saw that.
And Warrior's in the ring looking for something to do and nothing. Well,
I'll just step back out here.
Yeah, I'll just get out of the ring now.
He's probably looking at Shawn. Hey, let me do one of those cool things. I want to do something cool.
Tag out. Oh, and that hurt. Oh, and that hurt. Oh, and that hurt. Yeah, well, fuck you.
How much would you have paid in real life to see Haku and Warrior have a real fight?
Wouldn't last long.
I feel like that would have been like a bear destroying like a house kitten. All we hear about Haku is just next level badassery. I mean, Arn Anderson said the other day on the Arn show, he can be world champion any day he decides to be.
Yeah, he was a pretty tough son of a bitch, man. I definitely wouldn't want to find out.
At this point, you know, Hulk Hogan is the top draw, and we're already teasing, you know, that we're going to carry the movie over for a cage match. We've talked about it a lot here on the program. No holds barred, the match, the movie, and that'll essentially be the blow off for Zeus here. But this is really like a test case for the Ultimate Warrior, because even though Hulk Hogan was presented on TV as that match being the main event, we're letting Warrior go on last. We want a Warrior ending feeling here. The next pay-per-view, Royal Rumble 90, we're going to see that standoff or that look with Hogan and Warrior, and the crowd goes nuts, and we realize, hey, we've got our WrestleMania main event. If this had gone poorly, was there a backup plan, or was it going to be Hogan Warrior no matter what?
It was going to be Hogan Warrior no matter what. But good God, Warrior had momentum here, and there was just such a groundswell, and the charisma of Warrior, it wasn't going to be denied. And I think that you know, they were going to go one way or another. God, Bobby's fucking great. Yeah, Bobby Heenan, just underrated for his in-ring work, and could go in and have a match with anybody. I mean, he had matches with Warrior, and actually had matches that were decent. That looked like a 3 count to me. Who's this referee? Earl Hebner. Jesus Christ. Shane McMahon's doing one fine job on the outside, just pacing around.
Does Shane just really want to be out there in front of the crowd, be a part of it?
Oh, Shane wants to be in the ring right now with Shawn Michaels. That was, I mean, you know, this was during the time that the summer preceding this, when we had been on the road and Shane had got his first taste of being in the ring. And you knew he wanted it, even though we had been lectured and threatened not to let him get in the ring and do anything. Yeah, I listened back then too.
I feel bad for Arn watching him wrestle the Ultimate Warrior here, just based on everything we've heard. Because you know, at any minute he's going to get hit for real.
Well, right now, I guarantee he's getting the shit squeezed out of him too. Oh my.
What was that?
That was that there, what's called shooting bear hug. Now here's the difference, kids. Working bear hug is a work. That there was a shooting bear hug where he's squeezing the living fuck out of you.
How do you remember? We talked earlier about Akeem a little bit. He doesn't leave here. I mean, he's still around after this. I think he sticks around till 1990 sometime, right? Maybe the fall. How do you patch things up where he slides back in and he's okay?
Sometimes all it takes is to get away from the business for a little while. Get away, go home, heal up, and you put your life and put everything in perspective. Okay, I can go home, I can go work somewhere else, I can find a job, I can do something that is going to be more conducive to my lifestyle. Or, you know what, this is how I make a living, and swallow it and head on back to work. So I think that's kind of what happened with George, in that he realized, you know, this is what I do, this is what I want to do, and got back to work. So it just, if you have time away, it gives you a new perspective. And I think that's all he needed at the time, was get away for a little bit and head home with the family and get his shit together.
Well, of course, early in 1990, the Big Boss Man is going to turn babyface, and as a result, he'll turn on Slick and Akeem. We know they're going to pay that off at WrestleMania 6, and I guess he hangs around another handful of months, and then sometime in the fall, he eases out, and he'd show up in 1991 for WCW as One Man Gang. You know, you were very familiar with the One Man Gang persona prior to the WWF. And of course, that's what he would continue to use after the WWF. But I would argue, because of the popularity of the WWF at the time, as far as mainstream and licensing, as many or more people know him as Akeem. What do you prefer, the One Man Gang persona or Akeem?
I always liked the One Man Gang. I liked them both, obviously. I had a hand in creating Akeem and doing all of those vignettes, what have you. But I always liked the One Man Gang. I thought it was a great heel character. It was so much so that being in the business, I was afraid of Gang until you meet him, because he's just so nice and so gentle and a really warm person. So, but the character, and if you you saw that coming down the street, you'd be scared. You'd get the fuck out of his way. So I loved the character of the One Man Gang, and always thought that he was just such a great heel. He's a heel.
When do you remember, since we're talking about replacements here on this show, when do you remember Tully Blanchard being out? I mean, the rumor and innuendo was that he was fired the day of this show, but I have a feeling you're going to say that's not how it happened.
Well, he had already given his notice. It wasn't about being fired. It was, he was already gone.
But the drugs, you know, like, hey, go home.
I honestly do not remember.
Okay.
I really don't recall that one. I remember it all happening. I just don't remember a time frame on that. It just was unfortunate, and I know Arn was pissed off.
Well,
Because not only cost Arn this, but it also, you know, cost him whatever he thought he had at the NWA.
how about a little finger pointing action here with Arn and Bobby Heenan?
Well, again, a little foreshadowing for Arn and, you know, for Bobby to be able to fire these guys and get rid of them. And if they're not listening to him and taking orders properly.
Yeah. You know what? In my research, I said earlier, it was his last match on November 1st. It turns out he had subs for him on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th, but he was back wrestling on the 5th. He being Tully Blanchard, goddamn pal. But he had subs again starting on the 10th, and, you know, those would roll through for quite a while. So after missing a couple of shows, he does make a few other shots, and then he's gone for real. So I don't buy the rumor and innuendo that he was fired the day of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I wish I could recall that. I don't remember that one at all. Obviously, it was around this time, but don't know.
Fascinating to me that, you know, this is coming to an end, and one of the best tag teams ever, and we never see them again. Look at there. Picture perfect fucking spine buster. And that's going to be it for Shawn Michaels. And supposedly, I think Arn has said that Shawn was not too happy about getting pinned with a finisher here on the show.
I couldn't tell you that one either. I think everybody that was eliminated got eliminated with finishers, and that's just, you know, the way it is. Maybe he expressed something to Arn personally, but I did not experience that. Look at Bobby. Bobby going up top. Will he come off to the floor? He would have done it. Bobby would have done it. He ain't scared.
Talk to me about Bobby Heenan. When do you guys decide to pivot to him as the replacement? Is that a game day decision, or were there other ideas kicked about?
It was a lot. Oh God, it was just logical. It was the Heenan family. Who better?
Yeah.
Than the leader of the Heenan family to do it. And also you knew that you were going to, this is a perfect example of a replacement being better than the original, because the audience would want to see Bobby get his ass kicked, and they would know that in this situation, Bobby's going to get his ass kicked. He's not going to be able to hang in there with guys. And plus they want Warrior to get to Heenan. So in that regard, for a heel to be replaced, that was the right replacement, because that was somebody that we were lucky in that regard. They had someone that people actually wanted to see get their ass kicked more so than Tully. Tully was just another name on the card at this point.
Ultimate
nice
Warrior.
Little low blow there.
By the way, the Wrestling Observer reader poll would give this show 22.6% thumbs up, 61% thumbs down, 16% thumbs in the middle. What say you? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle?
For Survivor Series, I'd give it a thumbs up.
Why did you qualify it with Survivor Series? You still don't like the concept?
Because it's a concept show.
Yeah.
And if it was a different show with one-on-one matches and things of that sort, then you'd grade it differently. From this vantage point of a concept show, the 5-on-5, I thought it was good. I enjoyed the matchups. Oh my God, there's a hand in the ring. Oh, never mind. That's right, Shane. Get him in there. Get him in there. So now your payoff here was bigger. You think anybody, they'd be blowing the roof off the place if that was Tully at the end? I like the lady sitting ringside just reading her book.
Look at the flash bulbs. People are ready for this. I like that Bobby's wearing like his best little miniature Andre outfit.
Bobby was wearing that long before Andre even.
I know. I'm just trying to.
Well, no, I was going to say that was Andre's Bobby Heenan outfit. Oh, I like what you wear. Make me one. Bobby's same boots. I bet you his daughter still has those boots.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Are those Clifford Macias? Can you tell?
They are, because I just know Bobby got them from Clifford. All the big stars did, by God. You know where Warriors boots are from?
Parts unknown.
No, that's not true, Conrad.
Oh, where are they known to be from?
They're from the Austin Hall Boot Company in El Paso, Texas.
I got 2 pairs of those.
They ain't in business no more. You have Warrior boots?
No.
Dusty boots?
Yep.
Yep.
Here it comes.
And that fucking thing hurt like hell, by the way. This hurt like hell. He took care of Bobby there.
And there's your finish, boys and girls. The Ultimate Warrior is your sole survivor, and we have made a star. Look at the crowd. I'm going to play the audio here. In theory.
Heenan holding his head, just about able to stay on his feet as the Warrior shows off that Intercontinental belt.
For a show like this, I love he's running down Heenan in the aisle. For a show like this, are you on headsets in Gorilla, or where are you?
Yeah, I was timing the show at Gorilla. Right beyond the curtain. Right on the other side.
You know, in hindsight, it's kind of a shitty thing of Warrior to just run from behind and tackle Bobby in the aisle. That's sort of heelish.
Well, sometimes you just got to get out the true personality.
Boy, that's hurtful.
Well, no, it was from a audience standpoint when you're looking at it, and what would you do? It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That character was a heel, but people loved it. That was a heel thing to do, but as a babyface, it was the right thing to do.
We hope that the right thing to do for us is to watch Tuesday in Texas next week, one of our most requested shows. Looking forward to it. If you've got a question for us,